Welcome to another episode of the Einstein Retirement Daily, where we curate financial, economic, and market news for the headlines that affect today's retirees. Today's topic, we're going to discuss the hope for controlling inflation. The Federal Reserve would like to do it. The Federal Reserve would like someone else to do it. We all want someone else to do it. Maybe the states will do it. So we're seeing unemployment benefits getting reduced, and while I'm not certain that this is a play for controlling inflation, it certainly could help control inflation, and so we'll talk about that coming right up. If you hear something in today's podcast that causes you to want to take some action, make a decision, change things financially for yourself, legal, tax, or otherwise, please bear in mind that this is not to be considered specific tax, legal, or investment advice. If you hear something today that causes you to want to take some action, please consult with the appropriate tax, legal, or investment professional prior to making any changes. Okay, unemployment is being reduced and eliminated all across the country. Some additional states have joined the ranks. Greg Iacuri, or I'm not sure how to say your name, Greg. I'm really sorry. I should look these names up before I try to say them. But from CNBC, he writes an article, states to end unemployment benefits for more than 400,000 people this weekend. So 8 new states are opting out of unemployment benefits. Some are just eliminating the $300 a week supplement from the federal system, unemployment benefit boost. So those are being reduced. Some of the benefits being reduced are just the unemployment programs that have been enhanced and boosted up altogether. 8 states, Alabama, Idaho, Indiana, Nebraska, New Hampshire, North Dakota, West Virginia, and Wyoming are opting out of the unemployment benefit programs completely. States like Indiana, Ohio, and just Ohio, Florida, and Arizona, and Alaska have opted out of the $300 supplement. So let's just do the math real quick so that you can see what kind of dollars are talking about. So let's take it on face value that it's 417,000 workers that will be affected, thereby losing the $300 additional supplement per week. Here's what that means. That is $125 million a week of dollars going into our economic system, being injected into the system. Why does eliminating this kind of benefit control inflation, potentially? The reason why that works out is because inflation is a function of supply and demand on goods and services and the amount of dollars or currency competing for those goods and services. So if you've heard me talk about this before, I've described it many times. If I have 10 M&Ms and you ask me, if I have 5 M&Ms, so imagine you have 5 M&Ms, okay? Imagine them in your hand. Look at them now. 5 M&Ms. Not too many. They're small. Someone asks you for one. You say, I guess. Then you have 10 M&Ms, and someone asks you for one. You say, yeah, sure, how about 2? It's not that the M&M became more or less intrinsically valuable. It's just that you have more of them, so you value them less. Okay, that's all inflation is. Supply and demand. Here's what's happening with unemployment and why it is so directly tied to inflation. Okay, so we have non-productive workers. So that's key number 1. Unemployment benefits are benefits that are paid to non-productive workers. These are people who are not adding production into the economy. Why is that at all immaterial? Does it really matter if they get the money from the government for nothing, or if they get the money from doing work and producing a product or a good or a service? Yes, it absolutely matters. Okay, take an example. I think I've done the pencil example before, but let's say we're gonna do a little microcosm in pencil manufacturing. Okay, here's the scenario. Normally, this town produces 5,000 pencils in a week. That generates $1,000. Well, let's just say it's a person. So this person, it doesn't seem like enough money. This person, or enough pencils, this person is producing 5,000 pencils and is earning $1,000 for doing that. This person, there's actually two of them. Okay, let's say that's two people. One of them no longer is producing the pencils. He's been laid off from his job. He's not working. So now we're down to producing 2,500 pencils, and we're generating $500 for those pencils. Okay, we're half the production, half the revenue is being generated. But the person not working is receiving unemployment, so they still keep getting their $500. So we have a scenario where fewer pencils are being produced, 2,500 pencils instead of 5,000. The unemployment kicks in and allows the same amount of revenue into this little microcosm of an economy. We have $1,000 coming in. It's just that 500 of it is not coming for doing any productive work. So supply and demand would say we have a lower supply of pencils, but the same amount of dollars in circulation. Still 1,000 because it's been supplemented artificially. So when you have a lower supply and the same amount of dollars still competing for that reduced supply, the price of the pencil is going to go up. That is inflation. Lower supply, lower productivity, that's what you get with unemployment. The same number of dollars competing. Scale this out to any part of our economy. Materials to build homes or computers or automobiles. Services in the realm of, people willing to do your yard lawn care, or people willing to show up at your house and do some plumbing work, or put on a roof, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Care for an aging relative of yours. It doesn't matter what it is when you have fewer productive people, but the same number of dollars available in the economy because of a program like unemployment, you will get inflation. Supply and demand will dictate that prices will go up because you have more scarce goods and services and the same number of dollars competing for those goods and services. That's what unemployment created for us. It is eliminating these unemployment benefits. Again, I don't know that these states are getting together and saying, hey, if the Fed won't control inflation, maybe we will. My guess is they're doing a more simple calculation and saying, hey, we have a lot of business owners in our communities. We have a lot of companies in our communities that are trying to hire labor, and they're not having any success in getting people to come work. And the state governments are saying, so we're giving money to people to not work when we have businesses that are begging people to come work. Yeah, maybe we should fix that. So I think the calculation that these states are doing is a little more simple than a more global trend of trying to control inflation. But I think that will be a nice byproduct. And I say nice because controlling inflation is important. We need to have people being productive to generate the dollars into the economy. Otherwise, inflation is an automatic and necessary byproduct. So these states are saying if let's say Tom over here, I'm just picking the name Tom, sorry if your name's Tom and you're offended by that, but if Tom over here has to lose $1,200 a month, $300 a week, say an average of 4 weeks a month, so if he loses $1,200 a month in unemployment benefits, he's more likely to say, hey, that's not quite livable for me, and then Tom will go out and get a job to supplement that income and eventually replace the income, and he gets off unemployment and all of that stuff. So I think our politicians and the states are looking to do that. I will post the link to the article so you can look more in depth at what states are participating, but it's now 50% of all U.S. states are eliminating or have eliminated some portion or even all enhanced unemployment benefits that have come to us over the last year. So look for that. We'll wrap up for today. Appreciate everyone who likes, shares, subscribes. We love to see you at future events, and we'd love to interact with you going forward. With that, we'll wrap up for today and see you next time.